Hey, you did it. You found it. You found the podcast version of the show. It's Writer Radio. Here are the things you need to know. We stream live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time at writerradio.com. 2, you can find every episode on YouTube, youtube.com/@writerradio. We're on Spotify, same name, Writer Radio. We are on Twitter or X @BradWriter, BradRiter. We're on Instagram @Writer Radio. There's a group now, Writer Radio Facebook group. Go there, find that, follow that, like it, whatever you have to do. We've got a phone number. You can send texts, leave voicemail, 716-288-5246. Email, bradwriter@gmail.com. You don't need to memorize this. It can all be found at writerradio.com. That's the hub. But those are the places. Thanks for listening. Please tell a friend. Please share. That's how we grow. Glad to have you on board to the podcast version of Writer Radio.
We're rocking with the Bills here on Buffalo's TV 2. The Bills are on a roll and we'll win it all before we're through. While the Dolphins shake with pride, because we're awesome on a Monday night. We're gonna beat Miami, knock them right into the stands. The Dolphins used to be so hot, but now they're just a motley bunch. Whoa, whoa. And we're so sick of Dan Marino, we could all just lose our lunch. Whoa, whoa. And the Bills are on the rise, while the Fins are just drawing flies. We're gonna beat Miami, knock them right into the stands. Beat Miami, Bills, beat Miami. 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 Beat Miami, yeah. Knock them into the stands. Beat up Miami, Buffalo. Beat up Miami, Buffalo. We'll put Miami to sleep. The Dolphin fans will weep. 'Cause Monday night the Bills are coming and the Fins are in trouble deep. Beat up Miami. Beat up Miami. Well, what are they gonna tell the coaches? What are they gonna tell the press? What are they gonna tell the fans when they say, what a mess? Beat up Miami. Beat up Miami. Well, I heard the news on Oldies 104. Well, the Bills are gonna rock 'em to the core. Beat up Miami. Beat up Miami. They better go home. Beat up Miami, Buffalo. Beat up Miami, Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills are hot. The Miami Dolphins are not. When we get through with them Monday night, their playoff hopes will be shot. Beat up Miami. Beat up Miami. Well, what are they gonna tell the coaches? What are they gonna tell the press? What are they gonna tell their fans when they say, what a mess? Beat up Miami. Beat up Miami. Beat up Miami.
Go Bills, for we are here to cheer for you. Go Bills, we are your fans so true. With victory in sight, we'll yell with all our might. So go Bills, fight, Bills, go. Come on, let's win for Buffalo. Go Bills, we're with you. Fight Bills, we're with you. Go Bills, let's win this game. We'll raise up all our voices high. A Bills team spirit will not die. So go Bills, fight Bills, go. Come on, let's win for Buffalo. Go Bills, for we are here to cheer for you. Go Bills, we are your fans so true. With victory in sight, we'll yell with all our might. So go Bills, fight Bills, go. Come on, let's win for Buffalo. Great job, folks. Thank you. Great job. There's our fans.
Welcome to the morning meeting, everybody. Or should I say the whenever you decide to show up meeting.
I said the hip, hop, the hippie, the hippie, the hip, hip, hop, and you don't stop the rocket to the bang, bang, boogie, say up, up, the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what the hell is to the twist, I'm ripping to the beat. I'm here, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. See, I am on the mic, and I'd like to say hello. I to the back, to the right, the red, and the blue, the purple, and yellow. But first I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie, say up, the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie.
Hello. I just said it. Hello. I wouldn't just like to say hello. I said hello. It's a football game tonight. Can you tell? From the Miami-themed music into the old radio station classics from the late 80s, early 90s. When that was the thing everybody did. It was just make songs about the Bills. Both of those were Monday night themed. This is a Thursday night game, but woke up this morning. So here's how my day is going. It's quite the day. Not gonna lie to you. What's today? The 18th of September. All right. Show 169 of Writer Radio, streaming live at writerradio.com. Here is how the day is going so far for me. I set an alarm, and this will sound super late to those of you who get up like regular people. If you know me, I'm not a morning person, so I have an alarm that is set for 8:15. To start the process of waking up. And then I have another one that is set for 9:45 in case I'm distracted by something and forget, oh crap, the show's about to start. So those are my two alarms, 8:15, 9:45. Today, I woke up at 6:27 or 6:32 or something, completely full of energy. Now, I did something different last night. I fell asleep to nothing. I fell asleep. I felt myself falling asleep watching TV, and I'll explain what I was watching because that's interesting too. And I'm going back to that, maybe even as soon as the show's over. But I felt myself falling asleep watching TV, and rather than letting that happen, I shut off the TV, and I did not usually right there. I would put on a podcast, put my phone under my pillow, and listen to something that I don't necessarily need to hear all of. Just something soothing, something like interesting enough, but not super compelling so that it won't keep me awake. So that would be, a 6-month-old episode of Mark Maron had so-and-so on that I'm interested in, but I don't care that much. So I'll fall asleep to that. I usually do that. Last night I was like, the phone's over on the table. I'm just going to sleep. And I decided my trick for falling asleep, and I've had many of these over the years because I struggle to fall asleep. I struggle to get up. But my trick last night was just counting by threes. It's super boring, but counting, by ones, you don't have to think at all. So if I can get my brain lost in just counting. So it's just 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 28, 31, 34. I don't think I even hit 50. And I was out. And then I woke up. I didn't wake up once during the night. Woke up at 6, whatever it was. I want to say 6:27, but it was right around 6:30. But a full hour and 45 minutes before my alarm's going to go off. And jumped up. Not jumped, because good God, I don't jump. I remember the last time I jumped. I don't jump, I don't run. I walk, and I'll pop up a little bit. But I popped up, ready to go. All right, let's start the show right now. Which leads to me having a sheet of paper that is completely packed with information, very little of which I'll get to probably over the course of this hour because, 10 minutes into being up, I went, oh, crap, Bills game tonight. I had some trouble yesterday thinking it was Thursday all day. I woke up yesterday thinking the Bills were going to play, and they did not. So despite the fact that there were only 3 days off between games, it feels like one too many. I'm ready to just see the team 3-0, see the Dolphins get buried, Study the standings, calculate being 3 games up on the Chiefs, or 2.5, however you want to look at it. All of it works for me. Keeping an eye on the division, burying another team in the division. I want to see the Bills clinch the division by my birthday, which is early November. I want to see them clinch a playoff spot. Well, that would be the same day, I'm sure. But I want them in the 1 seed before we hit December. And all of this is possible if you look at the schedule. But it begins with tonight, the first of several cakewalk type of games that appear to be in front of the Bills. I know there's no guarantee. I know good teams lose to bad teams. But you've got a good team playing at home tonight against a bad one. No real break for either. It's funny to think about. Funny is the wrong word, but interesting to think about when they talk about a short week of practice. When I think short week, I think of UB will play on a Saturday and then they'll play on a Wednesday. There's a little bit of room there, but this is legit. A walkthrough on Monday, a practice on Tuesday, a walkthrough on Wednesday, and then it's go time. And that's where they are. When you take one team that is like an A+ and one team that's like a D, and you give each of them 3 days to get ready for the other, I like my team's chances quite a bit. Even if Josh did have a bloody nose and leave the game for a little while. Even if Matt Milano and Ed Oliver can't play today. Even if 2 guys they signed on the defensive line are still not available because we're only hitting week 3 and they're suspended through week 6. Even if their first-round pick, Max Hairston, is not yet ready to go. Even with all of that, they're still the Bills facing the Dolphins, and I feel awesome about it. And I have, like many of you, been accelerating through the process here because all that matters is January. But I want to see those numbers start piling up. And I'm looking forward to Josh Allen is, I think it's a 7-0 on Thursdays. He's played in 3 Thanksgiving games plus 4 night games, 7-0. I think Brady and Manning, it's two players have put together 9-game Thursday winning streaks. And, you know, the Bills are just looking to do that again. Primetime Josh is just about always fun. Certainly in the last 5 years as he's matured. So I'm pumped, man. It's 10:18 in the morning, and I just want to fast forward. I went outside. This is the second day in a row that I've thrown a football before doing a show. Went outside. My youngest gets on the bus. He goes outside at 8:20 just to practice pitching with blitz balls against a target. And the last 2 days, I went out there and grabbed a football, and we just played catch in the yard. Because I'm in football mode today. So there's going to be a lot of football. There's a lot of other stuff, too. I wrote down so many things for the show. I have no guests planned. I have a new musical discovery that I made that I might be able to share with you as well about a new album that's coming out. If you know me at all and you've seen this in the news, you're like, oh, that's something Brad's going to talk about. Yeah. A little combo project between one of my all-time favorites and an interesting band. One song is out so far, but the full album is coming on November, 14th, something like that. I just discovered that this morning. But here's my favorite part of the day. My favorite part of the day so far, and it just started. I'm not even 4 hours into my day. But 2 of the things that have been driving me absolutely crazy lately have been solved. I have been without a pair of sunglasses. Now, I got a big fat head. And I have one pair of sunglasses that I've had for 5 years now. And I still don't know where they are. But when they were missing, I found another pair that was very similar. And I was wearing them for about 2 weeks, and then I lost them. So I was without 2 pair of sunglasses, and I forget about it. And next thing you know, it's 9:30 in the morning, and I'm driving east, and the sun is destroying me. It's well documented that I sleep in my contacts on a regular basis. And then when they start to hurt, I throw them out, take a day off, and then put in a new pair. They're the daily ones. I'm beating the system. But it doesn't work real well in the morning when the sun's in my face and I don't have sunglasses. So this has happened multiple times. I went to a baseball tournament without sunglasses. I wore my wife's sunglasses. We had a tournament in Hamburg 2 weeks ago, last week. I don't remember when it was, but it was a one-day tournament in Hamburg. It was opening day of football season, that Sunday. And it was a great day, gorgeous. But I had to drive from Amherst to Hamburg in the morning, staring into the sun And it sucked. And then I was there, and there were 4 games. So as soon as I got there, my wife was there earlier because Drew had to be there at 7 o'clock or 7:15. I'm not doing that. So I got there, 8:20, something like that. And immediately went to her vehicle. I'm like, I'll find one of my pairs of sunglasses. It's got to be in the van. And all I found were these ladies' sunglasses. I wore them the whole day. I looked like Cam Newton. They were all like bedazzled and stupid looking. And people were just kind of looking at me. And I apologized for how stupid I looked. But I needed to keep the sun out of my eyes. I woke up today, popped up. One of the first things that happened was I found my sunglasses. They were just sitting on the table, but they were under like a book. I don't know what shifted, but they were like glowing to me. Just like, there they are, right? So I get those. I've got my sunglasses. I'm very excited about that. That means I'm ready to face the day. Like, I'm going to go somewhere today just to deal with the sun, just to wear the sunglasses, just because they're back. I've gone 2 weeks without sunglasses, and it has sucked. So that happened. And then I sat down, and I'm watching a bunch of stuff and reading a bunch of stuff and writing down a bunch of stuff and preparing to do this show for you. And for some reason, I decided for the first time in 2 weeks or so to pick up my broken Fitbit. I have a $300 watch that just stopped working. And it didn't. So here's the deal with it. It became the whole point of the Fitbit is you wear it for like a week and it tracks your movement, it tracks your sleep, and you get all this data. And I like having the data. I don't do a ton about it. Like, I used to walk every day. I have fallen off on that. I need to get back to it. But part of it is the Fitbit, I'd wear it for like a day and it'd be dead. And every time I'm somewhere, I'm at a baseball game, I look down at my watch to see what time it is. It's dead. It doesn't work. So I got to go to the phone and pull that out. I decided to do full factory restart, reboot, whatever you want to call it, on this thing because explanations I've received online say that it might get bogged down if you add like third-party apps and that kind of thing. So my idea was just start over. So I tried to start over, but it got caught in this loop. And you'll probably recognize this more from like a computer type of thing, but you've seen it before. Or I remember it happening a lot when I used to have DirecTV, where you go to like reboot the receiver and it just gets caught in this loop and it won't get to where it needs to get because there's not a firmware update or whatever. That's what was going on with this watch. I called the Fitbit people. I was on the phone with a guy for, 45 minutes as he was walking me through how to get this thing to reboot, like start over. Because what was happening was I would get it to a point where my phone was recognizing it. And then my phone would say, hey, you're trying to connect this device? Like, yeah, I am. Thanks. Like, what's the 4-digit code on the watch? I'm like, I don't know. I can't see the screen. It's stuck. So it was like trying to communicate, but it wasn't quite working. Today, I just kind of went over the steps that he had taught me. There's only one button here to push, but there's this rhythm to it. Like you push it, you hold it for 10 seconds, the thing appears, you let go, you wait till it disappears, you press it again. I couldn't remember exactly what it was because I was working with this guy to do it, and it was getting there, but it couldn't quite get there. And then something came up, and I had to get off the phone. Someone was at the door, I think. So I was like, I'll just deal with this later. It's back and working completely. So I am now back to a regular person with a functioning watch, and I have sunglasses, and the Bills are playing today, and I jumped out of bed without an alarm. All of these are very, very positive indications that I'm having a hell of a Thursday. And I hope you are too. I'm rooting for all of you to be as happy as I am right now. I'm also happy that we have a sponsor on the show, our first ever sponsor, Brian Janik with thefinancialguys.com. He is a 20-plus year expert in being an insurance broker. And you don't have to pay him, which is super cool. So if you go to thefinancialguys.com and track down Brian, he will help you get set up with whatever you need insurance-wise, specializes in people hitting Medicare. So if you're about to turn 65, you know somebody is, you've got a parent who is, or an older brother, or an uncle, or it's you. This is the guy to talk to just take care of the stuff that you don't need to think about. And he gets paid from the insurance companies, not from you. So it's a win-win, and we're happy to have him on board. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend in real life, and he is sponsor number 1 on the podcast. So there's that. I've got him written down because I only remembered to mention him once during the show yesterday, and I am happy to do that early and multiple times today. Alden Modified Football, 5 p.m., then Bills, 8 p.m. That's right. I was outside playing catch with Drew, and I don't think I've mentioned this. The one day I meant to just start the show talking about how My 8-year-old is now a trombone player, and it's more funny if you know Drew. Like, I sent a picture of, he got off the bus carrying a trombone, and he always is dressed like an athlete. Like, almost always has some sort of a jersey. He's got his hat. He wears the flat brim thing. He's got 3 necklaces. He's 8. He's a little showman. He's very interested in being cool. It's working. But it's like his main thing is, do I look cool? And the answer is always yes. Like, he dresses funny. He'll have his socks pulled up to his ankles and like weird shorts on, and nothing's the right color, and he's pulling it off. You know, certain people can do that. He's one of them. So he comes back looking like, I've been calling him Drew Burrow for a while. He's just got that vibe. The Joe Burrow, cocky, whatever. Like, he's the kid on the other team that you hate right away. But if you know him, you like him. But if you don't, you're like, man, I hope we beat that kid today. He's very, very confident. But also very concerned with being cool. So it's like half confidence, half making sure everyone likes him. It's adorable. He comes to the door, gets off the bus, and I'm like, oh, boy. I see him carrying a trombone. So we've already got a saxophone player in the house, in my oldest. We've got a trumpet player in the middle guy, and now we've got a trombone player. He can't play it at all because he just got it last week. But the day that he got it, he was just hanging out outside, blasting it, and then bragging like, that's the loudest one I've done so far. He'll learn it. He'll be good at it. He is so psyched that today is his lesson and his band rehearsal. And I said, Drew, are you more excited about the trombone or the Bills playing tonight? He's like, oh, the Bill. What time do they play? And I looked. I said, exactly 12 hours from now. It was 8:20 when I asked him about the Bills game. So he's having a good day. I'm having a good day. My watch works. I have sunglasses again. It's show 169. That's fun. And I have already played 4 songs with a Miami theme, 2 of them like radio station songs. One was from 88, one was from 92, I think. We played an LMFAO song because I think of Miami, I think of them. And also played Fireball. I wanted to play Fireball as covered by Bag of Donuts, which is a New Orleans-based, like Louisiana Hall of Fame type of cover band thing, tribute, whatever they are. They're crazy. And I saw them a few years ago with all my UB friends when we were in Lafayette, Louisiana. They played there. One of the coolest, just out of nowhere shows ever. And the best part of the night was when they played Fireball. It's a full band. It's essentially the band that we're building here with a saxophone, a trumpet, and a trombone. Full horn section. Everybody's dressed crazy. The lead singer is dressed as the Ultimate Warrior from wrestling. The drummer's like a court jester. One guy's Gene Simmons from Kiss. It's just chaos, absolute chaos. Like, picture Mardi Gras, but just on a stage. That's what they're going for. And I wanted to play their version of Fireball, but I found a different like dance mix of them, and then I just played the Pitbull version of Fireball because it's great too. So that's where we are. I'm talking real fast because I've got a lot to say, but I'm excited. I'm excited about today being the continuation of football. I'm also excited that UB football is playing on Saturday. I'll record a Bulls podcast with Scott Wilson later today. We're doing this thing live. And then here's the other. You guys, I need your input here. Those of you who listen live, if you're listening to the podcast version, I'm not looking for your input. If you're listening live right now and you have access to the chat, I would like to know how you access things. Like, here's the overall question. People have been pushing me to change this into a video podcast. I don't want to do a video podcast, but I also do recognize that that's better. It's much easier to distribute everything if you have video and you can make short clips of it, and that leads people in. You get more subscribers, and the subscriber numbers have been going up. It's a little at a time, but every time I look at like the YouTube numbers, I'm like, that seems higher. And you look at the Spotify numbers and go, that seems higher too. It's not like overwhelming, oh my God, this is a smash hit. But it's absolutely growing. And I think the video thing needs to be a part of it. So last night, I started practicing. And a few of you found it because if you subscribe to YouTube, it probably just notified you, hey, Brad's going live. And I did go live for a minute. No, it was probably 3 minutes, where I was just testing it out. It was no real show. It was just me talking and saying, does this work? Oh, can I play that? Oh, can I make this work? It looked pretty good. Like, I think I can do it. What I don't know is if I can do the show, and this would be like a live stream through YouTube. So the show, instead of the MixLR or Mixler app, which those of you who are listening on a daily basis have grown accustomed to, it would be a YouTube thing. Does that hurt anyone? There's a live chat in the YouTube thing. It all seems to work just fine, and it would be a video podcast. I don't even necessarily have to be on the screen. I can, if I'd like, just put like my logo up, and it'd be a live video. You just wouldn't see me. Or I can put myself on there maybe sometimes. I can show other stuff. Like, it's a good idea. I have not yet learned if I can go through, because you use a separate piece of software that I downloaded yesterday, this live streaming thing, and that feeds it right into YouTube. I've been doing MixLR, save it, edit it, get rid of the music, put it on Spotify. That feeds it to YouTube. It all shows up there. Am I hurting my loyal base of listeners that show up if I say, hey, we're not using Mixler anymore, we're straight YouTube? Does that hurt anyone? Does that bother anyone? Or do you recognize, hey, I can make a little switch here? I don't know what I'm going to do. It's not going to be today, obviously. It's probably not going to be tomorrow. But soon, I think I might make a switch to putting it on YouTube. Mixler, pronounced Mixler, live and in pod form, depending on the day. I want to see your basement enough to switch to YouTube, but only if I can see you in your basement. Why do you need to see my basement? Yes, go YouTube. My basement is set up now where I've got curtains. I got one behind me and one to the right. The main reason I have the one to the right is because varying pieces of equipment exist to my right in the basement, such as furnace, air conditioning, dehumidifier. They're always making noise over there. Just putting up the one little, it's just a tiny little panel here, curtain to my right. Just kind of blocks out that from my view. Not that anything ever happens over there. I mean, once in a while, my wife will come downstairs in the middle of the day to, I don't know, change laundry or something. But it's just helpful. It's keeping... Basically what goes on is I wear a headset. And if I have my head turned a certain way and I'm not talking, it just starts picking up the natural sound of the room. And this curtain helps to kind of calm that down. So I like that one. And then I have one behind me just because I've been holding on to these two curtains, planning on using them for podcasting things. But I haven't built a space specifically for this. I'm just sitting at a desk in a basement. I mean, I've got an electrical box that you'll see on the wall behind me. I've got a sump pump. You won't see it, but I'm sitting here. I'm doing a show near a sump pump. So this is not going to be beautiful by any. And then it's my face. So it's going to be my ugly face in a basement near a sump pump, and that's going to help the show grow. I don't know. I'm not sold on that. Now I've got other options. I've got some UB flags that are hanging to my left. Those are also for an audio purpose, it's just concrete block walls, and that prevents audio from just sound waves from just bouncing off and coming back at me. So that helps. I could do more with the curtain thing. I could do more with the setup. I don't think I want to go video until I've got the setup a little bit better. But I'm not really going for beautiful. I'm just going for acceptable and better distribution. So, I don't know. Anyone who is listening and is in the chat, please feel free to let me know how that impacts you. Are you thinking, oh no, I'll never listen again because Brad taught me how to use this particular app and this one's working fine, and stop trying to change things? Or can you come with me on a little bit of a journey where we're looking to grow this thing by leaning toward YouTube? People have heard of YouTube. Everyone has heard of YouTube. If I just say go to YouTube at Writer Radio, that's easier than explaining the MixLR thing or Mixler. I'm going to keep saying MixLR because I want people to spell it correctly. Even though it's not a word. It's MixLR. That would be like me saying that Bob Gaughan's son loves Grind DR or Grind R or something. It's the same thing. It's like the crumble cookies. We just eliminate vowels and pretend that's okay. And it is okay because you pronounce it the right way, but you have to type it in too. So I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Let me know if that's something you can handle, you can deal with. I think you can. But this is not for the purpose of showing off my basement. I assure you. It's nothing to write home about. I hang out here all the time, and I've got so many cool toys, but it is for me. It is not for public consumption. This is my little hole that I sit in and live in much of my day. From a work standpoint, all of my fun stuff is down here. All of my, streaming devices and my projector and my records and my CDs, and my video games, and all that stuff is down here. But it's not set up to show off. It's set up so that I can have fun down here, that I can invite the kids down. Played 2 football games down here in the basement with Nate last night. I lost both, by the way. I didn't mind losing the second one because he was UB and I was Troy, and that's this week's opponent. Watch out for their running back. I'm going to mentally mark that down for my conversation with Scott Wilson later on the UB football podcast that we're going to be recording. He beat me in that. He beat me in Madden. What teams were we in that? Oh, so we have this tournament. We have a tournament that we've been doing for like 2 years. It's a double elimination tournament that involved every team in the NFL. And we made some progress on it last night. But we were just going to play a random game of Madden. I was like, we should play one from the tournament. So there was one. I had to be the Texans, and I lost to the Niners. And I don't feel embarrassed by that. He had a better team. And then I lost to the Bulls. So I lost 2 football games down here to my 11-year-old yesterday. And he talks so much trash. He'd just tell me how terrible I am at the game. I'm not terrible. I'm fine. He had better teams both times. And I'm happy the Bulls won. I like the Bulls way better than the Troy Trojans. I'm still mad at them about the Dollar General Bowl or whatever it was. Dollar General. Something in Alabama. I think it was the one in Mobile where the Bulls lost to them. But it'll be all right. All right. All right, we're getting okay on YouTube. 3 in a row. Yes, go to YouTube. I'm okay with the move to YouTube. I'd follow you to YouTube. Okay. How do I do it? Do I have to put something up? Oh, you know what I could do? I could start a stream on here. I could have a recorded thing. Just thinking out loud, but you guys are all in on the ground floor here, so work with me on this. I could put a recorded thing out there saying, hey, thanks for coming over here, but this is not where the episode is anymore. Now you got to go to youtube.com/@WriterRadio, and you'll catch the live stream. Come on over. Here we are. I think I could probably do that. Have 2 streams going at the same time. I definitely could because I've got multiple computers. I could just set one up that does that for, a week. I don't expect everyone here to be here every day, but if for 1 week, anybody who went to this got instructions to go to that, I think we'd clear up any problems and everyone would find us. And it doesn't have to be actually me on camera. Maybe sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I'm not here to look pretty for you. I did shave today. The goatee idea lasted 1 week. I went 1 week of goatee, then let the beard grow in around it, and then I didn't like any of it. Now it's all gone. So it's tough. As is documented on this show, I look 10 years younger if I don't have white stuff coming off of my chin. My hair is pretty good. My hair is pretty dark. I've got some, little flecks of silver on the side, but that's okay. And by silver, I mean white, but combined with black, it looks like it's silver. But my chin I look like a billy goat. And I decided I didn't like it, so that's gone. Part of it, I think, is I started thinking about what this will look like on YouTube. But I think I'm going to have to make the move. I think I've got to do that. So I'm in the process. You guys, I'm just prepping you for it. You guys be ready? And when it's time to switch, bang, we switch, and everything's fine. All right, found sunglasses. Oh, so I found my sunglasses. I fixed my watch. I think up next, I would like to find everything else I'm missing. Do you have this? It's not OCD. I remember all the things I've lost. Like on my list right now, I still need to find the other sunglasses. The ones I found are the generic ones. The other ones are Nike ones. I like them a little bit better, but these are fine. But I hate when I lose stuff. So I'm missing the sunglasses. My fear is that they were left in I have a baseball bucket. This is number one on my list of things I'm trying to find right now. I have a 5-gallon bucket full of baseballs. It's a green bucket from Dick's, and it's even got the little seat on top. So it's the lid on it has like padding, and I use it when I'm coaching. I sit outside of the dugout. I bring the balls in there. Luckily, my glove was not in it, but a week and a half ago or so is the last time I saw my bucket of baseballs. It's missing. And it's to the point where I'm ready to consider it stolen. I think it's stolen. Now, this is a product of me coaching 2 different teams, and the night in question, I'm on one diamond, and then I have to pack everything up and move over to the other diamond because we had a 6 o'clock game, followed by an 8 o'clock game. I'm the head coach for the 6 o'clock game. I'm an assistant for the 8 o'clock. And so I've got one of those wagons. I've got all the stuff. I've got a bag of catcher's gear. I've got my own bag of baseball stuff, which is my glove and cleats and the scorebook and all that. And then I've also got the bucket. And I don't know. I get distracted. When I'm at Southline, which is our little league, I can't take 3 steps without someone having a question for me. So I'll be like trying to hustle from Diamond Z to Diamond 1, which is a 40-yard walk, and get interrupted 6 times. And this is no knock. I have signed up for this. I understand, but I'm always distracted. It takes me forever to get out of there because everybody, Brad, I have one question. Yeah, sure, what? It has something to do with that. I don't remember if I left it on the first diamond or if I brought it over and put it in the dugout, or if I brought it over and it was just sitting in the cart, or it was next to the cart, or if I just forgot it and left it behind. But it had $100 worth of baseballs in it. The bucket itself is, pretty cheap, but it had the lid, which was a gift. The lid, which is a seat. It had a set of practice balls in it that are in a cool little mesh bag, and it has not turned up. I thought, someone will find it and leave it. But I don't think they did. I think someone took it. And I don't accuse anyone who's a regular part of our league, but when we do fall baseball, we have this influx of other people that we don't know very well. I think somebody stole my bucket of baseballs. So that's what's next on my list of things I'm trying to find. Yes, I can just go to the store and replace them, but this is not like $100 worth of new baseballs. It's accumulated baseballs over 8 years of coaching. Just get a couple here and there, and I still have a bunch of baseballs. I still have another bucket, but it doesn't have the seat. It doesn't have my practice balls. Somebody took it. So that's what's next. And my sunglasses might have been in there too. Other things I'm missing include the CD of the John Lennon collection that disappeared sometime during college. Someone in, I would estimate, 1990, I would say the 94 to 95 school year, my junior year, someone either borrowed or just took my CD, the John Lennon collection. The good news is when I got married, my wife had it, so it's back, but I'm still pissed. I am missing not the case, but just the CD of Fun-Loving Criminals. That one vanished. I have a lot of media, and I remember the things I lost. I've also lost, if anyone has seen, I think this one vanished in 2001. Duke Nukem Forever is a video game for, I believe, the first PlayStation. That's missing. Also have the case still, but the game itself is gone. So if anyone has seen my copy of Duke Nukem that I lost in 2001, let me know. My copy of Fun-Loving Criminals, that was right around the same time that vanished. John Lennon collection, I think that goes back a little further to about 94, 95. And then my bucket of baseballs from last week. Those are the things I'm missing. Everything else that I've ever purchased or acquired, I still either have or disposed of intentionally. But those are gone. So if you've seen them, please help me out. Again, Duke Nukem Forever from PS1, Fun-Loving Criminals CD, John Lennon Collection CD. That one's the least important because we have another copy. And then my bucket of baseballs. I would like it back. I think it's a crime. Should I report it to the Cheektowaga police? Probably not. But I'd like it back, please. All right. ER Mom says, not tech savvy at all, but I've managed to find the show and listen since episode 1. Whatever grows the show and followers is fine by me. Ben says, I used to blame everything I couldn't find on being stolen because I was 7. Arbo says, I'm wearing one Nike sock and one Reebok sock right now. Missing socks are the worst. The move, the sock move, I believe, is what my good friend Josh has turned to. And that is, he's got 2 boys, and he just buys the exact same socks, and that's it. These are our socks. Same socks. They all match. There's no left, right. There's no nothing. There's a pile of socks. If we have an odd number, let it sit until another one comes back, and just keep rolling. That is a great move. That is a veteran parenting move that I learned from Josh. I do something similar. I went out, where was I the other day? I went to baseball practice. Again, this is one of those, I woke up and it was time to go. And my eyes don't work yet because I sleep in contacts, and I don't have sunglasses, and I have to drive to Cheektowaga in the sun. And I got there, and we were there in plenty of time, and I got out and said hi to the coaches, and I looked down, and I'm wearing Crocs with one sock. Because I slept in socks, didn't notice one fell off while I was sleeping, and then just put these things on because they were there, and then got in the car and went there and felt pretty dumb. But I also feel pretty proud that I then went to the aforementioned Josh's house to kill an hour, and he was proud of me that I had not taken the other one off. I'm just, this is what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing one sock. I'm wearing one sock and 2 Crocs, and that's just the way it is. You know why? Because the plan was when I get home, I'm going to find that sock and put it back on. Why would I take this one off when the plan is to put that one back on? That's just dumb. That's just being, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Inefficient. That's the word I was looking for. It's just being inefficient. If I'm going to take off this sock just to put it back on as soon as I get home. No. Leave it on for 2.5 hours while in public or at my friend's house. Get on with my life. All right. So we're looking for the baseball bucket, John Lennon collection, Fun-Loving Criminals, Duke Nukem Forever from PS1. I think everything else I have. So you say you used to think things were stolen. You used to think they were stolen when you were 7. I'm telling you they were stolen because I don't lose stuff like that. My CDs are alphabetized. My video games are alphabetized. My albums are alphabetized. When something vanishes from there, that's someone else did it. It is possible I let somebody borrow one of the things. I did not let anybody borrow my bucket of baseballs, I'll tell you that. I even kindly put out a thing. Does this sound? This sounds nice. So because I'm in this, I'm on the board of this baseball league, I have access to the Facebook page of the baseball league. And I'm going to read to you. I don't want to lose this tab. Hold on. So I'm planning on using that later. Okay. I'm going to read you what I wrote on our Facebook page. To no reply. No reply whatsoever. We get replies on everything. Nothing on this one. But someone is hiding a crime. How do I get to our page? All right, I'm going to read you what I wrote on here. This was September 12th. So 6 days ago, I wrote, one of our coaches, it doesn't show that it's me, but I'm telling you right now it's me that wrote this. It just shows that it's Southline Little League. But to me, it says published by Brad Ryder, September 12th at 11:07 p.m. One of our coaches is missing a green Dick's bucket with a cushion seat/lid on top and full of baseballs. It was last seen about a week ago at the Diamonds. If you accidentally picked it up, please return it to the snack stand or just send a DM to us on here and we'll arrange to get it back to its rightful owner. Thanks. No likes, no comments, one share that was probably me as myself. And that's that. Just stolen, lifted, theft, crime. It's been a crime. We should set up a Sting bucket of balls with an Apple AirTag in it. Set up that Sting operation. Maybe. I don't think it's going to happen again. I wouldn't have thought it would have happened the first time. But it did. All right, I've got to play a song. I've got to stop talking. I've been talking for way too long. Oh, I know. Do I have that open? No, I don't. Okay. We'll just play one of these. It's Ryder Radio. This portion of Writer Radio has been deleted for the podcast version. If you want to hear everything that happens, listen live weekdays 10 to noon at writerradio.com. All right, I'm trying something new here. I can't see my Mixlr screen because I just started a YouTube live thing. I'm set up for it, trying it. It's not necessarily going to be a regular thing. This might go for 5 minutes and I might stop. Not positive yet. But the way that it is right now, I can't see the other screen. I've got 3 screens in front of me. And this YouTube one has taken over. Like, I can't minimize. I don't know how to do that. All right. You just got to bear with me. We have to test some stuff. It only works full screen interface F11. Okay. Not full screen anymore. All right. So now it seems that we've got 2 separate live streams going. One of them on Mixlr, the one we always use. And then also if you go to youtube.com/@WriterRadio, jump in there. And then there's a chat there. So this is experimental. I'm looking to you. I'm just going to do the show now. But someone who's listening, go check it out. See if you can find it there. Let me know if it's still working. The Mixlr thing's still working. It seems as though I could do these 2 things simultaneously. The one thing I don't know how to do is turn off the camera. Camera's just on. I don't want it to be. There's another issue that comes up, and that is that the music that I like to play can't be in the YouTube videos. So I'm not positive how this is all going to work. But the test right now is, are both of these things happening simultaneously? Like, am I streaming live? Someone in the Mixlr chat, let me know. And then someone go find the YouTube thing. Someone's just sitting around doing nothing. I know that that's true. You've got time. I'm not trying to make this too much work for everyone. Just for someone. Someone who's around, is paying attention, can, open up on your phone and on your computer or something. Let's try it. All right, I'm going to... didn't want to do that. There we go. I'm going to type something in the chat, see what happens here. Hello, testing, chat, functionality. Writer Radio. Hello, testing, chat, functionality. Okay. That's something. I can make a smiley face, I think. Oh, look at all these faces. Look at this. Like a green alien guy. And just add him in there. Look at that. Okay. Can I love my own comment? Nope. At least not while I'm trying to do this. You see my face? Isn't it pretty? I shaved. Right? I look younger, but also fatter. It's all right. All right, here's where we're going. So that's working, and we still, if you're typing in here, you still hear me in here also. So that's a positive. We're getting somewhere here. All right, I just played a bunch of songs. There was a 90s vibe going on there. It was elevator music from Beck. It was National Anthem from Radiohead off of Kid A. It was Flagpole Sitta, universally loved song from that era. Nobody I know doesn't love that song. And if you don't love that song, we don't have to be friends. It's fine. And then Natural One, Folk Implosion from the movie Kids. All of that happened in the last 10 minutes as I was trying to set up this video portion of the whole thing. So that's where we are right now. So on my screen, it says preview, rotating logo only. And then it says program, broadcast. You got to admit the rotating logo is pretty sweet. That looks good. That could be the whole video. And I'd feel better about it. And then every now and then jump in with the face. To type in here, I had to leave YouTube, says J-Man. Okay. But the audio is still coming. I mean, the listeners have not dropped down, so that seems okay. I can't see how many people are watching on YouTube. I just don't know how to look at that yet. But this is all just practice. This is all practice for making the show bigger and better. Bills play today. NFL injuries. There's so many NFL injuries to discuss. I'm going to go hide this over on this screen so that I can see the rest of the stuff that I'm trying to do. Because, I don't want to have a fourth screen. That's too many screens. But I've got a bunch of stuff open here that I want to discuss. All right. I want to do the Jimmy Kimmel things. This is something. Trump's anti-media blitz that led to Kimmel's suspension is straight from a European strongman's playbook. Yeah. It is getting a little weird, isn't it? The free speech, just watch what you say, that Ice-T warned us about in 1988. It's here. So Colbert's show is over. Kimmel is suspended indefinitely. And this is due to comments about the Charlie Kirk thing, which I watched the comments. They were not crazy in any way. I thought we could talk about stuff. So if we are thinking about the murder/assassination of Charlie Kirk, the defense of Charlie Kirk, and I buy this. This is a valid defense. He's a guy who has ideas, who spoke his ideas out loud and looked to engage in debate. He was silenced. It doesn't matter to me who did it. This is what happened. He created a situation where people couldn't handle his ideas, or a person couldn't handle his ideas, and then he was killed for that, which is gross in America. That's gross. That's not what we're going for here, guys. It's really not, I promise. But then the reaction to that, those who are defending Charlie Kirk and trying to make this as political as possible are saying, well, you didn't like his ideas, and that's why you guys took him out. And it's not a group that took him out. It's a person that took him out, it seems. And then the response to that, like, we need to keep going. We need to keep doing what he was doing. I agree. We do need to keep talking. But the opposite is what's happening, because comments about that are being silenced, specifically in the case of Jimmy Kimmel, who's had a feud going with the president for quite some time now. And I think a lot of what he says is funny. I think a lot of what he says is true. I think a lot of what he says is exaggerated. But he's a comic who does a late-night talk show during a super divisive time in America. So how crazy is it that Jimmy Kimmel would have some comments after all of this happened? But that's not crazy at all. That's expected, right? Charlie Kirk is killed, and then Jimmy Kimmel comes on and talks about it. And in no way did he encourage people to act this way. He's just continuing the conversation. I'd like to know the process by which ABC decided to, at least temporarily, pull the plug on his show. But I don't like it. I don't think any of us should be comfortable with it. This is not the way that we're going to get better, by silencing people who are just speaking. And that includes Charlie Kirk, who I've watched quite a bit. I bet many of you have too. He was a name to me. I also recognize now that meme of change my mind that you always see, where there's like, say Josh Allen's the greatest quarterback in NFL history. And it's a guy holding up a sign that says, Josh Allen's the greatest, change my mind. That's been Charlie Kirk this whole time, I think. Like that's his move, is he's been going out and saying, here's what I think, come talk to me. Let's disagree out loud. I love disagreements out loud. That's how we get somewhere. You listen to the other person talk, then you say your thing, and they listen to you talk. That guy shouldn't be dead. But the response to it should not be silencing people who are continuing the conversation. And I'm not okay with this Kimmel thing. This is terrible. And then that's on the heels of the of Stephen Colbert being canceled. Now, maybe the Colbert thing is just, hey, this show costs too much money and doesn't make sense for us anymore. Maybe. I don't know. But watching the Emmys, I just watched the Emmys last night, and seeing the response to Colbert in that crowd. First of all, gross. The whole just incredibly like pious, elitist, left-wing approach. Like, let's put all of Hollywood in a room where we all agree with each other. It was gross. I didn't like that vibe at all. Because not everything has to be one side or another side. It can just be conversation. And there's always this talk about what people on this side are saying and people on that. Like, can you recognize that the vast majority of us are not on a side, don't affiliate with hardcore beliefs of this side or that side? Can we recognize that? Like, no, I don't agree with Trump. And no, I don't agree with Kimmel on everything. But sometimes I do. And no, I don't agree with Charlie Kirk on everything. But sometimes I do. Can we recognize that? These are the Kimmel comments that got him pulled off the air.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
ABC's decision came hours after FCC Chairman Brendan Carr condemned Kimmel's remarks. Kimmel, who has hosted the late-night talk show since 2003, has been an outspoken critic of President Trump.
We're like the rest of the country. We're still trying to wrap our heads around the senseless murder of the popular podcaster.
Last week, the thing went away right there. Hold on. Last week, Kimmel described Kirk's killing as, quote, a senseless murder. Yep.
Podcaster and conservative activist Charlie Kirk yesterday, whose death has amplified our anger, our differences. And I've seen a lot of extraordinarily vile responses to this from both sides of the political spectrum. And with all these terrible things happening, you would think that our president would at least make an attempt to bring us together, but he didn't.
In a Truth Social post, Trump described ABC's move as, quote, great news for America. That's it. That's the entirety of the video. That's all of the Kimmel comments. And now his show is gone, at least for now. We'll see if that changes. But this is not ideal, guys. It's not the right way to do it. Hey, he said that. Was that controversial? What he just said there? None of it was. That was just talking about the situation. But we can't talk about the situation. We have to shut people down. Shut down people's voices. I don't like it. Arbo says he should just keep politics out of it. That's how I see it. Who should keep politics out of it? Kimmel or Trump or everyone? Because if you're saying everyone, I agree. If you're picking one side or the other, I don't agree. This happened. The Charlie Kirk thing happened. He exists. We know of him because of politics. He is dead because of politics. He shouldn't be. He was just talking. Kimmel was just talking. He shouldn't be canceled. I mean, Charlie Kirk was canceled ultimately, right? I mean, it's gross, but he was silenced. And now Jimmy Kimmel's going to be silenced after Stephen Colbert's been silenced? This is not okay. I'm glad there's football today. All right, what is next here? Just cleaning up the mess. I've got so many things. Like I said, I got up way too early today and pumped way too much energy into this. All right, the Trump anti-media blitz that led to Kimmel's suspension is straight from a European strongman's playbook. Who's this? All right, this is CNN, so take it with a grain of salt. We know what side he's on. Weaponize the levers of government for partisan political gain, pressure privately owned media companies to toe the party line, punish the owners who resist, reward the ones who acquiesce. That's how Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban consolidated control of the media in his country, according to scholars who witnessed Hungary's democratic backsliding firsthand. President Trump and his allies appear to be running the same playbook against media outlets in the U.S. using legal maneuvers, financial incentives, and public pressure campaigns. Trump is persuading companies to make changes that benefit his party and bolster his own power. Wednesday's decision by ABC to sideline Jimmy Kimmel is the latest example. Free speech groups like the ACLU warned that the Kimmel suspension is part of a broad Trump-led effort to silence his critics. Here's a quote from the ACLU. This is beyond McCarthyism. Trump officials are repeatedly abusing their power to stop ideas they don't like, deciding who can speak, write, and even joke. The Trump administration's actions, paired with ABC's capitulation, represent a grave threat to our First Amendment freedoms. How could you even argue against that? Then the next sub-headline here says, this story is very familiar. Gabor Shearing, who experienced Orban's autocratic power, plays firsthand as a member of the Hungarian parliament. Autocratic power plays, firsthand as a member of the Hungarian parliament, told CNN, quote, this story is very familiar. Said both ABC's decision about Kimmel and last July's move by CBS to cancel The Late Show with Stephen Colbert reek of what is sometimes called Orbanism. He's now an assistant professor at Georgetown University. I'm going to say Qatar, even though it was Qatar for a while when it was the Olympics. He said he weakened public broadcasting, muzzled independent media through autocratic carrots and sticks, and incentivized owners to fall in line. Quote, a key underlying story is that media owners, both foreign and domestic, largely capitulated individually rather than mounting collective resistance, which enabled systematic capture strategy. Media critics in the U.S. have similarly chastised American companies like Disney for caving to Trump's desires, most pointedly through legal settlements Disney settled Trump's defamation lawsuit against ABC last December. Rather than defending itself in court, Paramount settled Trump's suit against CBS last July, even though legal experts said Paramount had a very strong case. The president is now suing both the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. His legal warfare is combined with an unprecedented application of the government's regulatory powers. Brendan Carr, his handpicked chair of the FCC, has opened probes of several TV station owners that Trump dislikes and inserted himself politically in ways that past FCC officials never have. In 2010, when Orban came to power in Hungary, turned it into a more authoritarian direction. He used financial and legal means to muzzle critical media outlets, quote, using the power of media authority to push outlets towards self-censorship is a classic Orban tactic. And they say it feels very similar. Yeah, it does. I mean, I don't know the history of Hungary. I just know that when people say you can't say that, yes, you can. Like, that's a big thing. Freedom of speech. First Amendment. I mean, what are we doing? This is all right? This is not all right. All right, what's next? I'm going to move on past that. I'm closing that one. I'm closing the other Jimmy Kimmel one. What is this one? No, don't want to do that. All right, football. Let's do some football injuries. How about that? Let's see. He should just keep politics out of it. That's how I see it. Everyone, including Trump. I just think if we keep talking about the way they are, it don't give the nation a chance to heal. Yeah, we need to not stop people from talking. People who don't get to talk go into like secret areas and have conversations anyway and come up with ways to make sure that their voices are heard if we're not letting you speak. You can't treat Charlie Kirk the way he was treated. But again, that's the act of, I think, one person. The government pushing ABC to not have Jimmy Kimmel on the air because he's commenting on a murder that's in the news or an assassination that's in the news is not the right way to go. This is not about taking sides. This is about the ability to speak being a massive part of what our nation's founded on. So it's frustrating. And if we're just going to, we can't just let that happen, right? We're not just letting this happen, are we? All right. NFL injuries. I've got, well, we'll start with the Bills. All right. So the Bills play tonight. No Milano, no Oliver. No Hairston still. At last check, Trey White was a partial participant, I think. But it was just a walkthrough yesterday, so we'll see what they've got. Honestly, I think an undermanned Bills team is still okay against this Dolphins team, even with the new D linemen that are both on suspension for, 4 more games? I think we're all right here. Joe Burrow injury. Bengals coach not ruling out Joe Burrow return later in 2025. There's hope he could play again, potentially, this season. Zach Taylor did not eliminate the possibility of Burrow suiting up. He was placed on IR Tuesday. He is expected to miss 3 months following surgery to repair a turf toe injury that he suffered on September 14th. But Taylor was firm in saying he hadn't shut the door on Burrow returning to the active roster following his mandated minimum absence. All right, I had that written down as number 2. Jaden Daniels hurt. Where do I have that one? Not this one. Sean McVay is hurt. You know about this? Sean McVay, head coach of the Rams, hurt his foot calling a timeout. It was like when I hurt my back sneezing. Just, it's not a place you should get injured. When I broke my leg just walking. That sucked too. Sean McVay walked away from the Week 2 win over the Titans with an injury of his own after he tore the plantar fascia in his left foot while he was calling a timeout. He wasn't expected to miss any time on the sidelines because he's just a coach. You can have a bad foot and still coach. He gave an update on his injury when speaking to the media on Wednesday. He sounds like he's getting better. He said, I feel good. It's actually better. It had been bothering me for a little bit, where I was a little bit restricted. Then I went to just explode down the sidelines for a timeout, and that thing popped in my heel. It was temporarily painful, but it actually feels a lot better now. So it's a positive that I tore my plantar fascia. It's a good thing because it accelerates the healing. So there's no issues for me. I don't know that I believe that. It's good to tear anything, But if he believes it, I believe it too. And I think the Rams will be fine if their coach's foot hurts. But it's worth noting that a coach wound up on this list. All right, Jaden Daniels. Where do I have him? I had all of these open, but I have too many tabs open, so now I'm struggling to find them. I'm just going to search for this one. That's new tab. All right, Jaden Daniels update. We've got more, too. Jaden Daniels, a lot of quarterback stuff. J.J. McCarthy. All right, here's the Daniels. Knee injury status iffy. This is all like kind of fantasy football talk for you, a little bit. I will say that when my son was looking to draft a fantasy football team for the first time, and he wanted Jaden Daniels, I said, I'd watch out for him in about week 2, just because it feels so RG3 to me, and he looks so RG3, and his rookie year was so similar to RG3, and I know it's just, same team, same vibe, same body type, similar skill set, but it freaks me out to have a guy that slight at the quarterback position in the NFL. Like, you have Josh Allen, they punch him in the face during a game, he goes over to the side, bleeds a little while, and then comes back in to finish things off, and then he's back for the next week. And that's a big dude equipped to handle combat's the wrong word, but you know what I'm talking about here. The physical wear and tear that comes with being an NFL quarterback, he's so much more equipped to deal with it. That's why I fear for Tua every time I see him on the field, especially tonight. And I root for him to not get hurt until they're playing the Bills, and then I'm just kind of like, what's he doing out there? And I like him. He seems like a nice enough guy, and I prefer him to be on the field. So I'm not rooting for him to get hurt, but I'm expecting him to get hurt all the time. And that's what I expected out of Daniels. Quinn did not specify the injury to Daniels' knee, but sources told Adam Schefter he has a sprain. He's day-to-day, the coach said, adding he did not know yet what that means for Sunday. Rookie of the year last year, injured the knee in a 27-18 loss at Green Bay, had a large ice pack on the knee after the game, walked with a limp out of the building. A day later, underwent an MRI that revealed no major damage, according to a source with knowledge of the situation. So we've got that. All right, who did I have next on here? Khalil Mack. I'm just Googling them individually now because I lost a bunch of the things that I had open. Khalil Mack injury. We love Khalil Mack around here. We are a UB football podcast. We are, obviously, we're pro Buffalo. But the Bulls, obviously, I do the games. I'm excited to watch them play Troy. I'm excited to record a podcast with Scott Wilson today just about UB. You can find that at the UB Bulls Insider feed all over the place. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are now a part of that. LA Chargers pass rush. I almost went full Collinsworth on you. The pass rush joke is so dominant in my house right now that it's harder for me to say pass rush than it used to be. It's a Chris Collinsworth thing. It might be related to his dentures. It might just be that he talks funny. But he says pass rush all the time, and it's spreading. Certainly in my house, and other broadcasters are doing it too. I never noticed it, and then once it was pointed out to me, it's all the time with him, and it's getting everywhere. They're soon going to have to change that term to Pash. In relation to broadcaster Dave Pash. Like if he's in a hurry, that's a Pash rush. LA Chargers pass rusher Khalil Mack, our good friend Khalil Mack, has avoided a worst-case scenario. He's expected to miss a few weeks after suffering a dislocated elbow during the Chargers' 20-9 win over the Raiders Monday. Head coach Jim Harbaugh told reporters Wednesday that Mack will be placed on IR, knocking him out for at least 4 weeks. Went down near the end of the first quarter when he reached to help bring down Raiders wide receiver Trey Tucker when his arm bent back awkwardly against teammate Troy Dye, who was also in on the tackle. Mack looked to be in considerable pain and was evaluated in the blue medical tent before heading to the locker room for testing. He returned to the sideline with his arm wrapped heavily in a sling. With his night done at the time of his exit, LA led Vegas 10-3, and we're putting consistent pressure on Geno Smith, with Mack having logged his first sack of the campaign a few drives earlier. We are rooting hard for the return of Khalil Mack. We love Khalil Mack here in Buffalo, and specifically on Writer Radio. He is a fan favorite, and I'm the fan. Mahomes. All right, let's move to Patrick Mahomes' injury, which I watched that game, and I vaguely remember this being a part of it. Mostly I was excited about 0-2, but he was limping at the end of that game. So let's see what we have on Mahomes. Just getting an injury update here. surprise, I say limping, and it's a wrist injury. I remember there being a thing. All right, Patrick Mahomes' surprise wrist injury raises new questions for Chiefs ahead of Giants matchup. Chiefs are off to a rough start, 0-2. New concern has fans holding their breath. This is from a website called Times of India. All right, here's the injury report. Is he on it? Yeah, there he is. Right wrist. Okay, throwing wrist. While Patrick Mahomes was listed as a full participant in practice, the detail was enough to stir speculation. Neither Mahomes nor Andy Reid mentioned the injury in their pre-practice media availability, fueling curiosity about how serious the situation might be. Instead, Reid highlighted absences elsewhere, noting that defensive end Mike Dana and cornerback Christian Fulton were sidelined, while rookie Xavier Worthy and Jalen Royals practiced in a limited capacity. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I remember Worthy walking off, saying, ooh, there's something wrong with him. He's number 5, right? No, that was Hollywood Brown. I thought it was Worthy, and it was Hollywood Brown. But things are adding up. I mean, their injury report looks way uglier than the Bills' injury report does right now. And I don't love the Bills' injury report. But looking at this right now for the Chiefs, who I am ready for them to just be buried and never win again. They've got did not practice for Mike Dana and Christian Fulton. They've got 1, 2, 3 wide receivers listed as limited participants. Jalen Royals, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, all of them. They've got 2 tackles on here, Jawan Taylor and Josh Simmons. They've got Ashton Gillott, I don't know who that is, D-line. Drew Tranquil, linebacker. Defensive end Charles Omenihu. And most notably, quarterback Patrick Mahomes, full participant, but listed with a wrist injury, right wrist, throwing wrist. So there's that. All right, so I did Bills, 1, Burrow 2, Daniels 3, Khalil Mack 4, Mahomes 5. We mixed in Sean McVay. I still got 2 more. Number 6, J.J. McCarthy. What's going on with J.J. McCarthy? Not a ton. J.J. McCarthy injury. Just throwing in an injury report here. Vikings signed quarterback after crushing J.J. McCarthy injury. They signed Desmond Ridder to their 53-man roster Tuesday. 2 days after starter J.J. McCarthy suffered an ankle injury. The move was first reported by NFL Network. It allows the Vikings to have a more experienced quarterback behind Carson Wentz, who's getting the start when they face the Bengals this weekend. McCarthy, 22 years old, is expected to be out 2 to 4 weeks. The 26-year-old Ridder has 3 seasons worth of NFL experience under his belt, appearing in 19 games through his first 2 seasons, then played 6 games for the Raiders in 2024. Third-round pick of the Falcons in 2022, signed with the Bengals in July, was cut by the team as part of the final moves, and he's back. Started the final game of the preseason for them, went 8 of 20 for 75 yards for the Bengals. 8 of 20 for 75 yards and an interception against the Colts, and now he joins the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, his first year starting, he missed all of last year after being a first-round pick. He was injured in the third quarter on Sunday night on a 2nd and 20 play, was evaluated on the sideline but finished the game. Coach Kevin O'Connell said Monday he just kind of got rolled up on in the moment. We didn't think it was that significant when we came off after that series. There was somebody in the blue tent, so we got it evaluated right there, got it taped up, went back in the game. Hearing from our medical staff, it's one of those things that tends to be much worse today than it probably was in the moment with adrenaline and everything. That has always been so weird to me, specifically with ankle injuries. It's thinking about playing basketball, and you turn your ankle, and in the moment, like you're there to play offense, and in the moment it works completely fine. And then your team scores, and then it's time to get back on defense, and it's limp until the ball gets there, and then suddenly your leg works again. It's very weird. Never talked about this phenomenon, I don't think, on a show. But it is crazy that it doesn't work, then it does. It doesn't, it does. Wake up in the morning, can't walk. Time for practice, works fine. Time for a game, works fine. It's weird. But obviously they're going to exercise caution on a guy who was a first-round pick last year and missed all of last year with an injury. All right, that was number 6 on my injury list. Justin Fields, that happened too. A lot of quarterback stuff here, man. Justin Fields' injury. What do we know about him? Major injuries for Jets, including Justin Fields and Jermaine Johnson. The Jets got the practice field on Wednesday, but weren't at full strength. Justin Fields didn't practice, but he wasn't the only one. New York released its Week 3 injury report Wednesday. There were a lot of names on the list. Tony Adams, Michael Carter II, Justin Fields, Jermaine Johnson II, Josh Reynolds, two other guys. Those all did not participate. And then they had 1, 2, 3, 4 who were listed. One was limited. 3, including Sauce Gardner, were full participants. What do we know about the Fields thing? 2 biggest to watch right now are Fields and Johnson. We already know Fields is going to miss Week 3 against Tampa. He's in concussion protocol. There are 5 steps for him to work through before he can get out and get back on the field for game action. And Johnson left the game due to an ankle injury. 26-year-old missed all of 2024, aside from 2 games last year with an Achilles injury. After all the work he did over the last few months to get back, seeing his name already pop up on the injury report certainly isn't the best, but he seemingly hinted on social media he avoided anything serious. He posted, "Thank God, y'all have no idea, LOL," and then prayer hands. We are in an era where we have to take that and interpret it and say, yeah, it seems like he's fine because he typed something into his phone with prayer hands on it and said, thank God. So that's what we know about Jermaine Johnson of the New York Jets. Okay, those are all the injuries I had written down, but all of that fit together as one big segment. All right, we move to the next thing I have written down. I don't feel like doing that yet. Emmy Awards. I started on that. Oh, okay, real quick on the Emmy Awards, and then I got to take a break. I watched them last night. So I recorded it because Nate Bargatze's the host, and I don't watch enough television for the Emmy Awards to be relevant to my life. I will say, after watching, and I kind of skipped through it, I wanted to see what Bargatze was up to. He did a kind of interesting, fun, creative thing that, whether it was just his idea or the show's idea itself, in order to keep things moving, he said he was donating $100,000 to the Boys and Girls Club of America. And for every post-award speech that was given that stayed under 45 seconds, for every second, he would add $1,000 to it. But for every speech that went over, he would subtract $1,000. So basically saying, if you win and you come up here and talk for a minute, you just stole $15,000 from the Boys and Girls Club of America. And it was a cool, effective, it was like a nice through line for the show. It gave it a theme. So some people, Seth Rogen's coming up there going, I'm getting off the stage and costing you money, Bargatze. And then other people were just so excited to win that they talked forever and essentially stole money, and then someone else would come back. It was a good little technique. Good gimmick. And I watched to see how he did. He was good. I mean, he's very dry, and I feel like I know him because I've been following his career for so long, and I think that's probably a part of what makes him super popular. Is he just feels like your buddy. He just comes across as very kind. He pretends he's dumb when he isn't, and it works. The whole vibe works. So I get him as the host. That made sense. It was cool. I have found his specials lately, especially his most recent one, less funny than previously, because I think he just kind of put together a greatest hits type of thing. But he's growing his career exponentially. He's, a few years ago, I knew about him, and I would talk to my friends who are comics about him, and now he's, sells out the arena. Now he puts tickets on sale like a year in advance and sells out the arena here in Buffalo and elsewhere, obviously, too. So I watched mostly for him, and then there were themes. Like this show, Adolescence, that I've been aware of for a while. It's a Netflix thing. It's only a 3 or 4 part mini series, I guess you would call it, about a kid who is just, like right off the bat, is arrested and accused of murder. And he's just like, what's going on? I didn't do anything. And I have no idea what's going to happen. But it was super intense. I shut off the awards. I didn't see the end. So I was like, you know what? I need to see the show. It keeps winning awards. And the people who are winning them seemed likable. And honestly, I would have watched this show a long time ago had it not been for the accents. I'm so thrown off by British accents. And I assume I think it was British. But not like non-American. I'm pathetic, man. I like people who talk like us, and I understand them better. And I get distracted. I've made a lot of points about the movies I can't watch and TV shows I can't watch. I'm bad with like war movies when there's just chaos all over the place and I don't know who's on whose team. Everybody's just shooting each other. And I struggle whenever, especially military. Like, they all have the same haircut. They all just kind of look the same, and I get lost. Castle stuff is the same way. Like, I don't understand battles between people on horses. I don't understand jousting. I don't believe in dragons. So, like, there's a lot of stuff. I don't believe in superheroes. I got a lot of quirks. And one of them, this is the most minor one, though, is accents. I can handle if there's a person with an accent. But like Train Spotting. I wanted to love Train Spotting. I don't know what the hell was going on in Train Spotting. The Scottish thing, like, there's just a lot of mumbling. That Begbie guy, I wanted to like it so much. I just didn't get what was, I mean, they were on heroin. I understand that. They were struggling. I understood that part. But like, I want to know the words that are happening in the thing. I will say, even if you have a similar affliction where you can't handle the accents, and it screws up your understanding of what's going on, I think you can handle Adolescence. And I didn't even make it all the way through an episode. Probably about halfway through, I realized I was falling asleep, and I just shut it off. Like, I don't want to waste this. Because you can't let it get away from you. I do use a sleep timer sometimes when I'm like, all right, I got half an hour left in me. I just don't want to wake up and find out that it thinks I watched the entire series. Now I have to rewind and figure out where I was again to get started. It throws me off my game. So last night I was like, I'm falling asleep. I'm going to miss stuff. Plus it was one of those things where anyone who watches TV, falls asleep to television, knows this problem, where the show is like one volume, but then they keep having these crashing noises. In this case, it was walking past, like walking through the tunnel where the prison doors, the cell doors were, and they just kept slamming a door. So I'd be like falling asleep and wake up because somebody slammed a door and then realize, I don't know what just happened in the last 5 minutes. I better shut it down. But so far, I'm going to give thumbs up on Adolescence on Netflix. And I'll pick up on that maybe after the Bills game, depending on if it's a rewatchable Bills game. There are some Bills games where I sit and watch everything that happens afterward, try to get all the press conferences, or just start the game over. And there are other ones, like I think this one might be, where the Bills are just up by 24 points in the first half and win it by 33, and it just kind of, doesn't need to be seen again. If we've got one of those games, then I'm watching Adolescence tonight after football. I might even go back and watch it this afternoon. We'll see. Got another podcast to record, and I'm working on this video stuff, and there's a bunch of stuff happening. I got to get ready for a UB game and record a UB podcast, so there's that. All right, so that's it on Emmy Awards. It was a pretty fun show for me not knowing any of the things that were on it. TV's not what it used to be. They don't even tell you where the stuff is. Something called The Studio won a lot, and it's a Seth Rogen production. He apparently wrote, produced, directed, acts in, and I bet it's good. I've never seen Seth Rogen in anything and not liked it, but I don't even know where to find that. I can look it up, but I knew where to find Adolescence. So that's first on my list. The Studio will be next on my list based on everything that I saw in watching the Emmys a couple days late. I'm going to play a song. I'm talking a lot. I feel like I've said more words today than I usually say over the course of a show. And it's hurty. It's not hurt. I'm like drying out. This is empty. My water bottle today is a Gatorade bottle. But once that is drained, which it is now, we have to play a song while I go refill. All right, so I have to move this thing over here. We're doing 2 streams here, 2 live streams. One on Facebook, one on YouTube, and one on MixLR/Mixler. And it seems to be working. Well, I haven't seen anything in the chat. Oh, yeah, there we go. I see your face. I am on both. Arbo jumping into the chat. I'm going to like that. How do I do that? Love. Nope. 100%. Did I click 100%? I don't know what I clicked. I don't know how to do all this chatting. But we'll figure it out. We can do this together. All right? Is it working? Do we like the YouTube thing? Only got a little bit of feedback on the YouTube thing, but I think it's good. I think it's the right move. It's probably mostly just going to be this spinning logo and me talking. But YouTube is everybody knows YouTube as opposed to me having to teach you about a special app you have to download. So we'll do both for a while. But I think eventually just transition to the YouTube thing. All right, I'm going to play some songs. Or a song, at least. You want to hear Prince? I feel like you're in Prince. I'm going to play Prince. And then I'm going to walk away. But I'll be back. Mic up. There we go. I think I learned some things about how to do this YouTube thing at the same time as the Mixlr thing. So I think we can do 2 live streams at the same time. And maybe you are going to get stuck with my face. Sorry. Was not the plan. Was not the intention to do it this way. But I don't know. It's not that difficult. Of course it's not. Look at everybody in the world has a podcast. Everyone's doing it on video except me. So maybe this is the right way to do it. TBD. I think we're going to do the YouTube thing for sure. But the ability to put it on both platforms seems to make sense. And I don't intend to be on camera all the time, but there might be times when I want to be on camera. This also gives me the ability to put up other things. Like I talk about some picture, my kid with the trombone. I don't have it set up to do that right now, but I said, he looks funny. He got off a bus carrying a trombone. He's 8. It's not quite his height when you stand it on end, but it's getting there. He's a pretty tall kid, but he's a kid. He's 8. Trombone. Little kid with a trombone is funny, especially when it's Drew. You got to know Drew. I'm going to kill this song. All right, here, I've got so many things I still wanted to get to, and it's already 1 minute before noon, and I'm not staying on much beyond 12 because I got to record at 1, and I'm still trying to figure out all this YouTube stuff. But this seems to have worked. I got my little spinny logo finally, and I think this will save. But then I can't have the music playing on here. I'm going to get copyright blocked or something. So maybe I'll make the video private once it's not live anymore, and then still upload the audio podcast. I'm not positive. I'm not sure. But now we've got some footage to use for video clips. I hope I said something good today. Can't believe I have to go back and watch this now. It's bad enough listening to myself. Now I have to look at me. That sucks. All right, things that happened today in history. In 1983, this is kind of a tribute to that, really. You think about it. Today in 1983 is the first time Kiss appeared on MTV without makeup. So, 1983, I'm 8 years old. Approaching 9. And I remember this being a big deal. And it seemed crazy to me. But now the thing that seems craziest to me about it is that they were only in makeup for 10 years. It's been 42 years since they took the makeup off. They were in it for 10. At the time, it seemed crazy because Kiss existed from the time I was born as this scary group of clowns with makeup and fire. And then all of a sudden they were just some ugly. I mean, I think the makeup was mostly because Ace is so ugly. I saw Ace. People say Freely, but I think it's Fraley. I think it was Fraley's Comet. That makes more sense to me. I've never asked anybody about it, but I feel like he's Ace Frehley and not Ace Frehley. But he was an ugly dude. I saw them. They were back to wearing makeup. I think I saw them twice at the arena. Maybe once at the Odd, once at the arena, whatever it is. Because I used to work security. And I was there during the day and saw how I think the makeup was to cover up Ace's face. Gene Simmons is all right. Paul Stanley's all right. Various drummers. But isn't that remarkable? That was such a big deal that their makeup came off. And they just went out there with their regular faces. And they had only been wearing the makeup for 10 years. It felt like an eternity because their entire existence had been that way. So that happened in 1983. In 1973, this one seems crazy, and this is from the History Channel, so I believe it. In 1973, on this day in 1973, September 18th, 1973, future President Jimmy Carter filed a report with the International UFO Bureau. Let's start with that. There's an International UFO Bureau. And on September 18th, 1973, he filed a report claiming he had seen a UFO in October of 69. During the presidential campaign of 76, Democratic challenger Carter was forthcoming about his belief that he had seen a UFO. He described waiting outside for a Lions Club meeting in Leary, Georgia, to begin at 7:30 p.m. when he spotted what he called the darndest thing I've ever seen in the sky. Carter, as well as 10 to 12 other people who witnessed the same event, described the object as very bright with changing colors and about the size of the moon. Carter reported that the object hovered about 30 degrees above the horizon and moved in toward the Earth and away before disappearing into the distance. He later told a reporter that after the experience, he vowed never again to ridicule anyone who claimed to have seen a UFO. During the presidential campaign of 76, Carter promised that if elected president, he would encourage the government release every piece of information about UFOs available to the public and to scientists. After winning the presidency, though, Carter backed away from this pledge, saying that the release of some information might have defense implications and pose a threat to national security. So, 1973, Jimmy Carter was like, yeah, I saw a UFO. And then 3 years later, we elected him president. I didn't. I was young. The other thing that happened on this date in 1970 is that Jimi Hendrix was found dead. How did Jimi Hendrix die? I think we all have OD in our heads, right? Did you have choked on vomit in your head? Because I did not. And maybe I've known that forever. Maybe I just forgot. Or maybe it's brand new. They did not specify whose vomit it was.
The official explanation was he choked on vomit. It was actually someone else's vomit. It's not exactly. There's no real.
Well, they can't prove whose vomit it was. They don't have facilities in Scotland Yard to print.
You can't really dust for vomit.
You can't really dust for vomit. We learned that back in the early 80s when Spinal Tap came out. This is Spinal Tap. The sequel is, I believe, in theaters right now. I'm tempted, but I think I can wait a month until it's just available at my house. I don't think I need to go, because I'm not taking my kids to it. I'm not going to try to rally other people to go see This is Spinal Tap 2. The End Continues, or whatever it's called. I want to see it eventually, but it doesn't need to be now. All right, that's the end of that. Is there anything else on here? Oh, Red Murdoch. I want to talk about Red Murdoch. I do have so much more stuff. I made a reference to an exciting musical venture that has been put together. It's Mike Patton, who you may know from Faith No More. He's best known from Faith No More, but also Mr. Bungle and Fantomas. And there's another one that's escaping me. Anyway, he's crazy, but awesome. Whatever insanity he likes to put out there, I follow along. He has combined on an album with the Avett Brothers, who I've never totally gotten into them, but I do remember them being described as guys with banjos who think that they're Led Zeppelin, and that's stuck with me. In fact, I think I have their music available to me in my files here, but I've never really gotten into them. But I listened to the one track, and it's weird, and that's what I would expect with Mike Patton teaming up with these guys, Avett Brothers. Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 of their albums, and I've just never really listened to them. Little bit here and there. Like, I'm familiar with what they sound like, but I've never sat down with a full album of theirs. That is going to change come November 14th when this joint release comes out with Mike Patton of Faith No More. And they're calling it AVTT, which is Avett minus the vowel. See, we're doing it again. We're all doing it. /PTTN, which is Patton without the vowels. So it's like Grindr, and it's like Mixler, and it's like Crumble Cookies, where we're just eliminating vowels. And that's how we're doing things these days. I'm sure Verbo, it's like that. I know there's an O at the end of Verbo. You get what I'm saying, though. That's what we're doing. So it's AVTT/PTTN is the name of the group. The first song is called Eternal Love, and it was fun. I'm not going to play it right now because I don't want to have just another thing I have to eliminate from this when I turn it into the podcast version. Just trying to save myself a trip, or save myself a headache, I should say. So there was that. And then the last thing I was going to do, but it's going to take so long. I've got another one of these lists, these countdown lists. This is modern rock tracks from September 17th, 1994, 31 years ago today. It's a top 40. And anytime I come across one of these lists, I just want to talk about the whole thing. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to zip through it. I'm not going to play any of the songs. I'm just going to see what I remember. This is my wheelhouse, man. This is me working in college radio. Particularly if we see Cannonball on here. If Cannonball is on this list, that's the first song I ever played on a radio show when I was in Geneseo. I can't remember if I started in 94 or 95. No, I started in 93. I was doing a radio show in 93. So Cannonball wouldn't be on here. All right, we're going 40 down to 1. Baby Come Back by Pato Banton. No idea. Number 39, New. Salvation by Rancid. Yes. Won't you salvation? Ooh. Da, 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 da. Lisa Loeb, Stay. I miss you. You say. Da, 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 da. All right, number 37, Andres by L7 off of their album Hungry for Stink. I remember L7. I remember Hungry for Stink. I don't remember Andres as a song. Number 36, Cracker off of Kerosene Hat, Euro Trash Girl. Great song. Love it. Euro Trash Girl. Euro Trash Girl. Good Enough by Sarah McLachlan. No idea. Superstar by Sonic Youth. And I wanted to say I don't know the song until I saw that the album is called If I Were a Carpenter. And now I do remember playing that song on the radio because Superstar is the same. It's in Tommy Boy. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? That song. But the Sonic Youth version. So I can't quite remember how it sounds, but I remember this existing. I remember there being an album called If I Were a Carpenter. I'm sure I played that song, and that's the one. Collective Soul Shine is on Modern Rock Tracks at number 33. Supernova by Liz Phair. That's, I believe, the one where she's in the boat, the kayak. Is it a kayak or is it like a, what do you call the real rowing, like a crew? What's that boat called? What's a boat of when you're in crew? Supernova. Yep, I remember that. Number 31, Magna Pop, Slowly, Slowly. Don't know it. Number 30, Toad the Wet Sprocket, Fall Down. When will we fall down? Jump back, gotta get out of here. 29, Indigo Girls, Least Complicated. No, don't remember. 28, Bad Religion, Stranger Than Fiction. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. I like that song. Number 27, God's Child, Everybody's One. No idea. 26, Veruca Salt, Seether. Seether is neither. No. Yeah, that's Seether. Now, I get confused because Seether was their big hit, but then their next hit was Volcano Girls. And in Volcano Girls, they referenced Seether, and I was confusing Veruca Salt with Liz Phair at the time. Seether is neither black or white. Seether is neither wrong or right. I tried da-da-da-da-da-da. I tried da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Can't fight the Seether. Yep. Number 25, Headache by Frank Black. Got me down and got me a headache. Yep, I know that one. 24, Grant Lee Buffalo with Mockingbirds. No idea. 23, Prayer for the Dying by Seal. I'm sure I know it. It's off of a self-titled album. I'm sure I know it, but it's not coming to mind. 22, I'll Stand By You by the Pretenders. Yep. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. That song's been on American Idol 445 times. People always sing that one. All right, what's next? That was number 22. All right, 21, Come Out and Play by Offspring. Hey, you disrespect me. That was like the first big hit from Offspring. You got to keep them separated off of Smash. I had a friend who was, I don't want to tell that story right now. I want to count down 20 more songs so I can get out of here. All right, number 20, Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. Everybody knows that one. I know that one. Never loved it. Video's creepy as hell. Number 19. There's like stars all over this one, like it was rocketing up the charts. It wasn't. It went from 20 to 19. But Snail Shell by They Might Be Giants. That was good. Number 18, Closer by Nine Inch Nails. That's the one about the animal. Remember what he wanted to do? Like an animal? I do. Wasn't very nice. Number 17, Something's Always Wrong by Toad the Wet Sprocket. Don't remember that one, although it's the same album as, what was the earlier Toad song? Oh, Fall Down. I like Fall Down. When will we fall down? Something's Always Wrong. I don't know. Number 16 is a band called the Dam Builders, which I remember. A song called Shrine that I do not remember. Number 15, Stone Temple Pilots, Vaseline. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. One time a thing occurred to me. What's real and what's for sale? Number 14, Sugar, Your Favorite Thing. Tell me I'm your favorite thing. I wouldn't mind. Bob Mould was just here. He just played Town Ballroom within the last week or so. Number 13, Soundgarden again. Fell on Black Days. What I fell on, boom, 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 black days, bum, bum, bum. Yep. Number 12, Dinosaur Jr. Feel the Pain. Boom, 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 boom. Feel the pain of everyone. Then I feel nothing. Feel the pain of everyone. All right, number 11. Weezer, Undone, the sweater song. If you want to destroy my sweater. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I love 1994 so much. Can you tell? Number 10, Candlebox, Far Behind. I can't hear that song without picturing my friend Chris singing, Now Gravy. Shout out to C. Number 9, Self-Esteem by Offspring. This is the story I was going to tell. I had a friend who was like 4 months behind on all music, but he had the loudest stereo. So he would just play this song over and over and over right after everyone was sick of it. Shout out to Don. Number 8, Stone Temple Pilots again, Interstate Love Song. Sunday afternoon. All right, number 6. No, number 7. Sheryl Crow. All I Want to Do. Doesn't really seem to fit in with this list, but all she wanted to do was have some fun. She was in a Tuesday night music club, and I saw her live once because she was a background singer for Don Henley when he came here on the End of the Innocence tour in 1991. Susanna Hoffs was the opener. That was fun. We were right next to the stage. She looked great. And then there was this woman singing background vocals like, I'm going to remember her. And when she showed up, I was like, I know her. That was a Don Henley backup singer, Sheryl Crow. Number 6, Live. Shout out John Fuller. I Alone. I alone love you. I alone tempt you. Not their best song, but I like them. They're good. Very good. Number 5, a band called Love Spit Love. I remember that existing. Their album was also self-titled or eponymous. Song is Am I Wrong? I'm thinking of Got Me Wrong or Got You Wrong. One of those. Either Got Me or Got You, which is Alice in Chains off of Sap a couple years earlier. All right, number 4, Jesus and Mary Chain, Sometimes Always. I'm positive I would know this song if I heard it. But just seeing the word sometimes from that same era, I'm thinking of the song Sometimes by James. And that one is distracting me from thinking of the melody of the one by Jesus and Mary Chain. Number 2, Fade Into You, Mazzy Star. That is a absolute mixtape, mix CD classic. If people are still making those things, playlists, any kind of playlist, that is it's such just a pleasant song. Mazzy Star, Fade Into You. Number 3. Number 2 is Counting Crows, Einstein on the Beach, which I don't remember it having a subtitle or a parenthetical title for an Eggman. But Einstein on the Beach, I can't think of how it goes right now. I know it when I hear it. I definitely know that song. I've got that on mixtapes and CDs too. That was number 2. And number 1, Green Day, Basket Case. Now, that's funny to me that 40 tracks, there's only one Green Day. We've got multiple Toad the Wet Sprocket on here. We had another one of these lists where it was multiple Collective Soul songs. I think there were multiple STP songs on this one, yeah. Vaseline and Interstate Love Song are both on here. But only one song, but it was number 1 for Green Day. It was 1 the week before. It was 1 the week before that. It had spent 11 weeks on the chart at that point, and that's your modern rock Billboard chart, top 40 from 31 years ago today, September 17th, 1994. Which of those songs can I easily play? Which of these songs do I really like and can easily play as I send this into a break? If I had Stranger Than Fiction, I would play that. No. Vaseline, no. Your favorite thing? Yeah, your favorite, that thing. I think your favorite thing. Sugar. Yeah, I'm going to play that. And I'm going to say, talk to you tomorrow. Bills, Dolphins, tonight. Can't wait. Also look for a UB podcast. Probably will come out either later this afternoon or tomorrow morning. First try on the YouTube thing. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments on there, in the comments on MixLR, whatever we're calling it. We're trying some new stuff. Keep it rolling. All right. Thank you for listening, for finding us, for hanging out on Writer Radio. Episode number 169 is over, and we'll be at 170 tomorrow on a Friday, where we'll hopefully be recapping a UB win, or excuse me, a Bills win, and previewing a UB win. Scott Wilson will join me tomorrow at 11. Probably won't put his face on here. He's got a better face than I do. This is not terrible, though, right? The YouTube part of it. The fact that I can stream it the way that I was, plus this way, and I learned a couple things about it today, tells me that we can do this moving forward. So this is how we grow. Here's Sugar with your favorite thing. I'll be back tomorrow, 10 o'clock on Writer Radio.
What are you doing for lunch?
I don't know. I have a turkey sandwich.
We're gonna go around the corner. I think you should come with us. This is a great place.
I don't know. Okay.
We brought you a shirt.
You get out of here? Will you get out of here? Will you? Now, will you go to lunch? Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?